So how's it going, ladies and gents, and welcome back to the channel. Today guys, we're doing a Master Duel deck profile, and it's not just one deck that we're gonna talk about today, but 7 decks in general. 7 decks in general. So without further ado, I won't waste your time, and let's talk about the first deck so that we can make do with the 15 minutes or less. So the first deck that we're going to showcase today are Sprites. Sprites has been running amok in regards to the Runic and Sprite archetype, and it is very disgusting to have those to have that kind of meta join into one. But basically, we're talking about the XZ Festival. Since we are doing Sprites, we have a ton of XZ monsters that can actually help you or benefit you with regards to winning the game. So the Sprites in general has a ton of negates with regards to monster and spell cards or traps, which is the carrot and the red. The best thing about Sprite is you can jam every hand trap that you know in this game into one main deck. Not only that, with the help of the frogs and the nimble monsters, you can actually spell summon or add additional monsters from your deck to your side of the field or to your hand. So it's a really good archetype in general once it was introduced recently in Master Duel. Now, for your extra deck, you just revolve around a ton of level 2 XZ monsters, which is not really a problem because during your second turn, you can just OTK your opponent with the help of the Gusto Phoenix or even Cat Shark. And not only that, you can also summon a Divine Arsenal Double Azus from Downward Magician and from a Sky Cavalry Centauria. So that is one of your go-to cards if ever you're going first to set up your board, and then going second just to ram those cards with your opponent's life point. So yeah, your spell traps revolves around a ton of board breakers like Dark Hole, Regeki. Even though we are not running Dark Ruler no more or even Ultimate Slayer, this deck is still good without added into this deck. But yeah, for the sake of adding 40 cards into your main deck, yeah, add a ton of board breakers. You can even go for what you call this, a Dark Ruler no more. But I think that's gonna be irrelevant since during that second turn you're gonna win the game anyways. So that is the Sprite, guys. Let's move towards the second deck. So second deck, guys, I know people have actually worked on this or tried to use this deck in the XZ Festival now, and by far it is really fun to use this deck in the XZ Festival. I got a lot of wins. Well, basically I got some wins regards to this deck because we're running against, for some reason, we're running against Sprites, and most of the time Sprites. It hasn't changed actually. But regardless, like I said, Exorcisters are really good with the addition to Martha and the Returnia as their new supports. By far, it is really good. So this deck is really straightforward, but using this deck in general takes a lot of effort. So that is Exorcisters, guys. Let's move towards the third deck, yes. So third deck, guys, and I know people haven't actually touched this deck for a while now, but with regards to the last XZ Festival, the Zodiacs were really prominent and very useful during that time, but it just dried out for a time being because of the whole power creep and all the new archetypes that was added into Master Duel. But basically, if you want a fun deck that relives the whole Zodiac thing, then this is one of the decks that you can actually try to use in the XZ Festival, but having to settle with just a limited Zodiac monsters on the board that has only one destruction capability, or even just go for a Zeus that can be negated by an Imperm. It's really hard to play against the top tier decks nowadays. But yeah, like I said, if you wanted fun, go for Zodiacs. That is your third deck, guys. Let's move towards the fourth one. So the fourth deck that is really fun to use with during the Legend Anthology event was actually the Lyrilisk. Now, basically, the OTK deck for the Lyrilisk was really fun, and I really love how I beat down attack monsters on the field just to end the game. But having to rely mostly on your Lyrilisk XZ monsters is gonna be hard, especially with like I said, the benefit for the Legend Anthology Festival was there were no hand traps that your opponent can actually use except for one copy of Imperm. But yeah, during this XZ Festival, your opponent can use a ton of hand traps like Maxi, Ash Blossom, Imperm, Effect Pailers, and so on. So it's really hard to actually spell summon monsters to the field. You get Maxied, you instantly lose basically. But yeah, like I said, fun decks. If you're still in love with the whole Lyrilisk thing, go for it. It's the same mindset with the Zodiacs. If you like the archetype so much, then go for the archetype, try the archetype out. So that is the Lyrilisk, guys. Let's move towards the fifth deck. So fifth deck, guys, and I'm pretty sure most of you actually hated this deck way back. If you're going second, it's easy to win by the help of Lava Golem and for your Kaijus. If you are still a Numeron player, go for it. You can actually win some games with this. So that is the Numeron, guys. It's very straightforward. You don't need skill to play this deck out. I think if you have limiter removal, you can actually win the game there. Limiter removal is still available for you to actually use. You can replace this card for 3 copies of limiter. So that is the 5th deck, guys. Now the last 2 decks that I'm gonna talk about today are non-extra deck functionals, and these are one of the fun decks to play with per se. But yeah, let's check them out. Let's go for the 6th deck. So the 6th deck, guys, so this is one of the control decks that I've actually wanted to showcase to you guys here. So the extra deck just revolves around a ton of level 8 Exe monsters and a ton of level 4 Exe monsters. Your main deck is your main bread and butter for this game to actually win. I know players are saying that you need skill to play this one, but I don't know. For me, it's very straightforward. I like this deck. I really love the archetype. I really hope Konami adds the additional supports for the Labyrinth in the near future. But yeah, hey, let's move towards the 7th and last control deck that we're gonna showcase today. So the last control deck that I'm gonna showcase today is none other than Umi Control. So basically, if you've run this deck 2 seasons ago, I'm pretty sure this is really one of the best. Even today, it's actually good to play in Diamond with this deck by far. Of course, you have to set up first rather than your opponent going first. But having to control the field with just your water monsters, and then your opponent can only summon one non-water monster in the field, it's really, really good. And not only that, for protection, you'll have your trap cards there. Extra deck just relies mostly on your Bahamut Shark, your Stealth Kraken, and then of course your Stealth Kraken spawn, which of course is not really that relevant since your beatdown power is punch through with the help of Kaiser Shin. But yeah, those are the 7 decks that you can run in the Exe Festival, guys. So 3 control decks and 1 toxic deck. The other you can just play for fun if you want. Yeah, that's it for today. Keep safe, good luck. Hopefully we can do another deck profile in the near future, hopefully by Thursday, of course. Let's be signing off. Keep safe, good luck once more, and have a good day. Bye bye.